Hey everybody. On Monday we found the midpoint of a line segment. Today we're going to find the distance or the length of a line segment. You got to make sure that you're reading your problems carefully so that you can distinguish between the distance of a line segment and the midpoint of a line segment. Okay? So distance is not an ordered pair. It's actually a value that represents how long something is. Okay? And as usual, we've got a big bad Bachelor structure for distance. It is a really big square root symbol, two parentheses with squares on them and a plus sign in between and minus signs inside the parentheses. Your X's go in one slot. Your Y's go in the other slot, okay, for the endpoints. So here's an example. Find the length of a line segment, AB, and they're telling you the endpoints. Okay, so what you do is, we don't want to put numbers in yet. Make sure you do not put any numbers in. The way the structure is designed, it's going to help you if any of this stuff turns out to be negative. It's going to help you not to make a mistake. So we want to do a big square root symbol. We're going to do a big parenthesis with a square, a plus, a big parenthesis with a square. And then we put minus signs inside the parentheses. Okay, so X coordinates are 3 and 7. Okay, Y coordinates are 15 and 12. And then we just simplify to get the length of this line segment. So, first thing I'm going to do is I am going to do 3 minus 7, and that's negative 4, and don't forget to put your square on it. Then I'm going to do 15 minus 12, that's 3, don't forget to put your square on it. Okay, now, when you square a negative number, it should be positive. Okay, so make sure that anytime you have a negative number and you're going to raise it to a power, that you put it in parentheses. Because if you don't, the calculator will give you the wrong answer. Okay, what the calculator does is it does the square first and then tacks on the negative sign. If you put it in parentheses, you are literally telling it that you want negative 4 times negative 4. Should be positive 16. Okay, so now we've got 16. 3 squared is 9. Notice, on this line, nothing should be negative. Nothing should be negative, because whenever you square a negative number, it's positive. Okay, so now we're going to add 16 and 9, and we're going to get 25. This is the square root of 25. Okay, it's not 25, it's the square root of 25. So your square root symbol is right here in yellow. So if you press second and square root, you'll see the little symbol pop up, 25. So the answer is 5. Now you need to be very careful. On a multiple choice test, these are going to be your answers. You're going to have 25. You're going to have 5. And you're going to have the square root of 5. So see, you got to be careful. They can trick you. It is not 25. It's the square root of 25. And once you take the square root symbol is not on this anymore. So the value is 5. So just be very careful. Also, I'm going to show you a shortcut. You can put all of this in the calculator at one time. So if you do the square root, the trick is you have to open 2 parentheses. Okay? 3 minus 7, close the parenthesis, square it, plus, open a parenthesis, 15 minus 12, close the parenthesis, square it, close the parenthesis again. Okay? I don't like doing it this way because there's a lot of room for mistakes. I prefer just to work it on out. And in case this was a calculator inactive problem, you kind of know how to work it on out. Okay? Now, we're going to do one with negative values. So I'm going to pause for a minute and let you write your structure down. Big square root symbol, parentheses, 2 sets with a plus sign, and then minus signs, and then squares on your parentheses. Okay? All right, here we go. Okay, do not try to put numbers in while you're doing this. Okay, just put your structure down first. Okay, so my x coordinates are 8 and negative 3. My y coordinates are negative 10 and negative 12. Okay, so now is where you can see, look at all these negatives. Okay, and if you try to just enter this without the structure and put the numbers in with the structure, you're going to miss one of these negative signs and the minus sign. So that's why I like to do the structure first and then you put the values in. Okay, so now we're going to do this. This is add a line, change the sign. So this is really 11 squared. Okay, this is add a line and change the sign. So this is actually 2 squared. Okay. Still carrying our square root symbol down. 11 squared is 121. 2 squared is 4. And now we're going to add those together. We get 125. And we've got the square root of 125. We get 11, and you can just say, 11.2 is fine. Okay, you want to be very careful with Delta Math. If Delta Math may ask you to round this to the nearest hundredth or something like that. If it says round to the nearest hundredth, then you would go 2 places here. And since this number is less than 5 or less, or excuse me, less than 5, then you would keep that 8. Okay. All right, so you give this one a try. Okay. Might want to pause the video and give this a try. Okay. Big square root symbol, parentheses squared, addition sign, parentheses squared. Come back and put your minus signs in. Okay. X coordinates are negative 8 and negative 2. Y coordinates are 3 and negative 5. Again, you can see these negatives. There's a lot of them. If you will do the structure first and then put the numbers in, it's really going to help you out. Okay. Bring down your plus sign. Add a line, change the sign. This is going to be negative 6 squared. Add a line, change the sign. This is going to be 8 squared. Remember, when we square a negative number, it's actually positive. That's positive 36. This is positive 64. And 64 and 36 is 100. The square root of 100 is 10. Keep in mind, it's not the square root of 10. It is 10. So on a multiple choice test, you want to be careful. They're going to give you that value. They're going to give you this value. And they're going to give you this value to try and mess you up. It's 10. Okay.